Good morning and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today we're cleaning my kitchen. Yes, folks, as you saw, my kitchen does need a pretty thorough cleaning, and I'm gonna give it like a really solid do-over here. So it is Friday morning, so yeah, I want this place sparkling here before Shabbat, and yeah, there's a lot of cooking that was done here last night by Mr. Firefly and by my son. So Mr. Firefly was making the Moroccan fish, and my son was making a soup, all preparing food for dinner tonight. But the mess is here. It was late last night when they finished, and I had just gotten home from being out with some friends, so I was like not gonna stay up and clean last night. I saved it for the morning, came out, saw it, ignored it, went for a walk, and came home, and now it's time to clean the kitchen. And while I'm cleaning, I'll go through and kind of talk about what I'm doing, a little bit of the process and that sort of thing. A little cleaning motivation and inspiration, I hope, for you guys today, along with some practical tips and things like that. All right, now the products that I'm going to be using today are all from Blue Land. So I started using Blue Land products last year as a way to save money and have less trash. Blue Land's products are people and planet friendly because they have no single plastic waste. Also, all the packaging is completely compostable or recyclable. There's no single-use plastic in any component. From the shipping to the wrappers, I can either reuse or recycle everything. I got the Clean Essentials kit. Here's what's in it: multi-surface cleaner, foaming hand soap, glass and mirror cleaner, bathroom cleaner. All products are also free of phosphates, chlorine, bleach, parabens, VOCs, ammonia, triclosan, and phthalates. They are hypoallergenic and sourced from vegan and non-GMO ingredients. I use my Blue Land products all over my home, but especially here in the kitchen because they make it easy to clean the big messes that keep happening here. It's so easy to use too. Just fill your Forever bottle with warm water, drop one of the tablets into the bottle. After the tablet fully dissolves, just put the lid on. It's ready to use in minutes, no shaking or stirring needed. Ready to get your Clean Essentials kit? Blue Land is sharing a special offer just for my viewers. Click on the link that I've left for you in the description box and in my pinned comment below to get 15% off your first kit. All right, now let's get to cleaning. Okay, a couple of things first. Yes, I did speed this video up. This is going to be a speed clean with me. I spent about an hour cleaning the kitchen, but I've crammed it down into, I think, less than about 20 minutes or so. Okay, second thing. Yes, I am sweeping first. And I know that people will say to do the floors last because you're going to like spill things off the counters and whatever. And yes, I will. But I also am one of those people that I know for me, I just have to sweep the floor first. I just have to have that clean floor to walk around on. And it's like one thing that I can just quickly get done. It's very satisfying to sweep the floor and get that done. And then I have a clean surface to, it's kind of like cleaning your work surface. I never thought about it that way before until I'm saying it just now, but it's like cleaning your work surface to work on. So I'm cleaning the floor and I've got like a clean surface to be on while I'm cleaning everything else. And yes, I will have to go over this again later when I am finished with the cleaning. But for now, at least it's done and I have that clean surface to walk on and I feel so much better. And so this just kind of goes to where you have to do what works for you. There are so many different like methods of cleaning and so much cleaning advice out there, but you really just have to do what works for you. And that may not be what works for everyone else, and it may not be the most popular method of cleaning. Obviously, I'm sweeping first, but you know, just gotta do what works for you. Okay, as I'm going about and sweeping here, I'm grabbing a few things to put away because they are just things that don't belong where they were. So mainly just kind of grabbing dish towels and the tablecloth and things and putting them away. So the dish towels and the mat I put into the washing machine just straight away. I love that it's right off the kitchen because it makes it so easy just to put those things straight into the washing machine. And then the tablecloth had been drying because I air dry those. So I just had thrown it over the door and I just moved that to put away. Okay, next I'm moving on to this table, our kitchen table. I tend to do this first every time I clean. I think because it's a smaller surface and it's generally just things that need to be put somewhere else. They have a home somewhere else, usually in the pantry, or it's like dirty dishes that I'll just move over to the counter. I usually won't even put them in the dishwasher right away. I'll just move them to the counter and then I can clean it off. And then I have this beautiful lovely corner of my kitchen that is done. And it's really nice. It's very motivating for me to see this one area that is totally done. And I'm like, oh, the rest of my kitchen is going to look like this soon. It's going to be beautiful, just like this one corner. Right, and now I can move on to the rest of the kitchen. Okay, I tend to go to this section next whenever I'm cleaning my kitchen, and this section is pretty much always like the worst section. This is where the kids will pile up dirty dishes. This is where my husband will come and do most of his prep work. This is where the dishwasher is. It's where the sink is. Like, this is the space where all the things go and where all the things happen. So maybe I come over here because it's like the worst section to do. It's also the biggest section to do, but I'm super motivated after cleaning off the kitchen table and getting that small, not so bad section done, that this section isn't so bad to tackle. So I'm starting off by putting a few things into the dishwasher and just throwing away trash. I'm not doing a particular order in this. I'm just kind of like grabbing what is easy to get done and easy to just get off the area here. I guess ideally I would love to be able to like throw all of the trash away first and then do the dishes and then clean the surfaces or like something like that. But the way that my kitchen gets messy, that doesn't work for us. I kind of have to fish through things because it's not uncommon for there to be a knife hidden in a pile of carrot peels or something like that. And again, this is not how I cook in the kitchen. This is how Mr. Firefly, my husband, cooks in the kitchen. And that is okay because he is a great cook and I enjoy cleaning. So this works out so well for us. But you see, it doesn't take so long just to kind of get everything off the counters and get things back where they belong. So now that I've gotten that section of the counter done, I'm moving over here towards the sink and I'm starting to load up all of the dirty dishes. And this is going to take a little bit of finagling because there's a lot of weird shaped dishes in here today. And I want to kind of resort things and get as much to fit in the dishwasher as possible so that I have as little hand washing to do as possible. I don't super enjoy hand washing dishes. There are certain dishes that I always hand wash because we keep kosher. We have like our set of dairy dishes and our set of meat dishes, and our dairy dishes don't go in the dishwasher. Our dishwasher is just for our meat dishes. So I do basically always have some hand washing to do. Plus, if there's something like very large that isn't going to fit in the dishwasher, then that also needs to be hand washed. But in general, I definitely try to fit as much in the dishwasher as possible. And I end up usually running one load in the dishwasher every day. And I try to do that at night before I go to bed. I try to just kind of load the dishwasher up and then run it before bed. Okay, so now I am moving on to hand washing and chatting with the kids a little bit here and there because they are definitely popping in and out of the kitchen. They've already had breakfast and stuff, so like I should have ideally the kitchen to myself now, and baby Firefly is down for a nap, so like I can really focus on the kitchen at this point, but I am still a mom and my kids are still popping in, so that's why I keep turning and like talking because I don't know what we're talking about, but there is talking going on. Okay, so for the hand washing, there isn't a whole lot of hand washing to do. There's a few dairy breakfast dishes here from the morning because breakfast tends to be kind of like our dairy meal. My oldest loves to make eggs with butter or cream in them, and there's usually like coffee or cereal or something that has like the dairy dishes involved. And so I'm hand washing those real quick. And then there's just a couple of these awkwardly larger dishes that don't go in the dishwasher, like this cutting board right here and that pan there on the counter, the baking pan, baking tray, whatever you call those things. So they don't really fit in the dishwasher, so I always hand wash those. So at this point, as I'm finishing up these dishes, I'm really starting to see the transformation here in my kitchen, kind of the light at the end of the tunnel. Getting this toughest section done next is super motivating because I know that I'm like way over halfway through at this point. So starting with that super easy area, so I have that motivation of seeing this is what the rest of my kitchen will look like soon. And then doing this really the hardest area of my kitchen, because then once this is done, it's like, okay, now it's not so bad. and there's not that much left to do because the other parts that I cleaned of my kitchen just aren't that difficult to do. So all right, so anyways, I am just finishing up this hand washing here really quickly. And another perk of doing the hand washing here now is that it can all dry while I'm cleaning the rest of the kitchen, and then I can put it away before I'm done cleaning, and then the kitchen is like super clean. All right, let's tackle these things right now. Yeah, all the food stuff ends up in here. We do have a garbage disposal, so a lot of this I'm just getting to go down the garbage disposal. And over on this side, there is no garbage disposal, so I'm just going to see what I can get into that little catcher there and then wash that out before I go and give the sinks a good scrub. I'm just using this sponge. It's actually an older sponge and kind of near the end of its days. I'll leave a link to these in the description box below. I really, really love these sponges. These are what we call Shabbat sponges or something like that, because they don't actually hold water in them in the way that a normal sponge does. So I can use these to wash my dishes on Shabbat, which is super helpful when I need to wash things on Shabbat, because I often do. We are allowed to wash dishes by hand on Shabbat if we still need them later on in the during the holiday of Shabbat. And since we love to have a lot of guests, again, that does happen often enough. So I just use that sponge and some dish soap to scrub out the sinks there. And these racks, I just wash them in the dishwasher. They're kind of hard to scrub because it's like that crisscrossing wire and stuff like that. So I always just wash those in the dishwasher, and I just have like a habit of I know which rack I put where, so that I know exactly where to put them back in my sink, because one is for the meat side of our sink and one is for the dairy side of our sink. Okay, so now I'm just grabbing some counter spray to really shine up the counters and get them nice and clean. I love how clean they are after I shine them up with counter spray. I try to do that every night before I go to bed, but since I'm cleaning the kitchen now, we're doing it now. And I'm going ahead and cleaning the backsplash here today as well. I don't do this super regularly. I would say that I just sort of spot clean it during the week. Like if I see something, then I'll just sort of spot clean it during the week if there's something that splatters. But I do like to do it here before Shabbat because I just like the kitchen to be sparkling and gleaming on Friday going into Shabbat. All right, now I've moved over here to the sink area, and I'm just again doing behind the sink. That definitely gets a lot of water spots and splashes and things. And then I'm cleaning the faucet. I don't tend to focus on the stainless steel in my kitchen super often, but taking this surface spray here on the stainless steel around the sink is definitely a solid choice because it gets all the splashes and water spots. So, all right, now I'm doing this windowsill. This is another one of those spots that I really don't do very often, except that it does get dirty with the plants. They drop leaves and it gets dusty and all the water splashes. And then I, of course, have to move everything anyways if I'm going to wash this window back here, and this window gets all the splashes between watering the plants and the cooking and the dishwashing and all the things. So again, washing that one, I try to do that once a week for sure, and then I'm just moving the plants back, and now it's like this beautiful happy space with all the pretty happy green things and a clean sparkling window. All right, I'm just kind of setting everything back up on the counters and doing a final splash through of water because things get in there. All right, now moving on to the other side. This is all that's left, you guys. It's so exciting. Okay, this is another section. I'm just kind of like now moving around clockwise in the kitchen. This section is mostly a put away section. In our kitchen, not a whole lot of prep work goes on here except when I'm making the kids lunches, and I am such a clean as you go person that it stays pretty clean. But this is like a catch-all space for my husband where he will put spices and things like that and just sort of leave them out. So it's mostly just putting things away, and then I need to clean the counter here. So pretty basic on this section, which is nice. And of course, like some general tidying up, just kind of putting things where they belong over here on this counter, because a lot of things do live on this counter all the time. I personally am one of those people who doesn't love things to live on the counter, but I don't live alone, so I don't make all the decisions here, and it's totally fine. And I like that it's kind of mostly contained to this corner, so I just try to keep it as tidy as I can. All right, and now we are moving on to our stovetop area. This again is just kind of putting things away and doing just a quick little polish. I did deep clean the stovetop earlier in the week, so it really didn't need that much. Like I didn't need to pull off grates or anything like that today. But I did just need to kind of shine everything up and clean up all the little splishy splashies that end up here from all of the cooking. So I'm just cleaning the stainless steel around the edges and cleaning off the kettle because the kettle also gets dirty. All right, and now we're here to the last little section. This is really exciting, you guys. I'm so happy. This again is kind of one of those catch-all spaces. Not a lot of prep work happens over here, but there is just a lot of stuff to put away. So now when I say catch-all space, this isn't just like catch-all of like spices that are being used to cook. This, you can see I'm putting away things that like they really just belong somewhere else. That bag of popcorn had been sitting there for several days. There were groceries on the counter that just had never been put away from the last time we went to the grocery store. They got unloaded here on the counter and just never got put away. There were like papers from one of my kids. There were like pens. There's just like all kinds of stuff that just ends up on that counter space. That's a space that I need to work on because it's like a drop zone. Anyways, I don't like the clutter. All right, now I've moved on here to cabinets. This, again, something I don't do super often, but I love to do it here before Shabbat just to get all those kind of splashes from the cooking and things off of the cabinets. And this is something that I definitely don't do every week. This is probably more of like a once every few weeks, once a month sort of a thing, or just if I notice that it looks really bad, which was kind of like today. There were just a lot of splashes on things, and I remembered that I hadn't gone over this in a while, so I decided to go ahead and do it. So I'm just using my spray and a microfiber cloth. I should have mentioned that was just a regular old microfiber cloth earlier. And I'm just kind of going over all of the dirty spots here on the cabinets. The worst spots are right by the stove, right by the sink, and this over here is the worst because it's in between the dishwasher and the trash can is right there behind the drawer where I'm at. So this just ends up getting so dirty because all the little things splash and crumb and whatever all along here. So I really should probably do this area more often, but it is what it is. It is, of course, really nice to get these cleaned up. And when I am doing like a solid cleaning on the kitchen, it's just nice to get it all done. All right, so once I finish that up, I go ahead and toss that cloth directly into the machine. There's no reason to leave it out or walk it across the house. And then I'm grabbing my vacuum to go back over the floor. I'm mostly hitting just the trouble areas right there by the edges of the counters, but I'm kind of quickly going over everything just to make sure that like my floors are actually clean, because what is the point of a clean kitchen without clean floors? So even though I swept the floors there at the beginning, I am vacuuming them here at the end anyways. And also okay, while I was vacuuming, I noticed that the tray for baby Firefly in his high chair was not super clean, so I'm taking that over to go ahead and wash that as well. And yeah, he started eating, you guys, like real food. Oh my gosh, I cried. I did cry, you know. It was a little emotional when he started eating real food, but he loves it. He's obsessed with food. So anyways, we got on this little high chair and he thinks it's the greatest thing ever. Anyhow, once I got that cleaned up, I am putting away these dishes because they are dry now, or at least dry enough. So I am just going to go ahead and put all of those away so that I can just get everything done and I don't have to think about my kitchen until I'm putting it to bed tonight. But with it cleaning this good, putting the kitchen to bed at night, which is what I call cleaning the kitchen before I go to bed, there's not that much to do. So, all right, anyways, back at the current moment though, I am using my kitchen spray there to clean the counter and the backsplash and the wall right here next to the drying rack. And I'll put that into the dishwasher and I'm hanging up a fresh towel there and voila, we are done. This is my clean kitchen and it makes me so very, very happy. Okay, the kitchen is now completely and totally clean. It is glistening and sparkling and beautiful, and I love it. Okay, The whole clean took me just under 1 hour to do everything. So that's not bad, really, considering that I really was kind of doing more of a deep clean today. Where I was cleaning the cabinets and cleaning the backsplash and having to pop in and out of dealing with kids in there. So getting this all done in an hour, not that bad. Okay, and with that, it is Friday, so I have got plenty to do today. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the video here. Thank you all so much for being here. As always, I super duper appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and drop me a comment down below and let me know what is your favorite cleaning tip for your kitchen. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would absolutely love to see you here again. And of course, don't forget to check out the description box and pinned comment below so that you can order your Blueland products. All right, and with that, we are all done. I hope that you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload.